Hey guys, Michael Herrick here. I'm going to take you into the project file of my latest release on Ensis Records called Not the One. So let's go check it out. Alright guys, Michael Herrick here. So we're in the project file for Not the One with Lachi. I'm just going to go through and show you kind of the main elements of the track that I'm most proud of and that I worked the most on. The first thing that you hear in this track is this kind of pluck sound made from a few different serum patches that I've frozen right here. I'll show you this pluck sound. So that's kind of the main theme at the beginning of the track. It's made of a few different sounds. It's kind of got like a marimba sound with this one. Kind of a bit crushed bell sound panned slightly to the right. And this last one is just a centered kind of bit crushed sound. That's kind of all that's really going on melodically in the beginning of the track. I'll head over the drums here. The drums are pretty the drums here are pretty basic. I like to organize my drums, separate the kick, what I call the drum meat, which is like the kick snare, or not the kick snare, but the snares, fills, cymbals, crash effects, pretty self-explanatory, and then perk sounds. If I solo all these together, you kind of got this sound. The main elements here, I just have that main snare. I have a trap snare kind of playing just little fills over here and there. Just that 16th rhythm hi-hat and that open hi-hat. Kind of creating a hip-hop kind of sound. The perk is like a turn signal sound from a gray sample pack. Kind of a basic sound there, but just add some rhythm to it. Of course, we have Lachi's amazing vocals here. I love adding little fills and just weird kind of stuttery things. I love adding those little fills throughout just to kind of fill the open spaces. I like to do that more than just adding delays sometimes because it gives me a little more control and I can kind of just separate these out, process them separately. Next big thing is this main sub bass that comes in. So I have a top boom layer and a bottom boom layer. So I like to separate out these subs. I like to low cut. I like to duplicate the sub and low cut it and then process this with a lot of distortion and saturation and then mix that back in. I find that kind of makes the bass sound a lot more full on like smaller speakers if you're listening on your phone. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear that sub bass very well at all. So that's something I like to add in there. So now we move on to the drop. The main sound in the drop is these big chords. Where are they? Right here. So it kind of has that call and response effect. You have this one layer kind of playing on the downbeat. And then I have these LFO layers coming in after that. So it's basically that one layer, this Boy Wonder layer. It's a serum patch that I really like. Playing that downbeat. And then I have these 8th or these 16th LFO sounds coming in. It's basically all the same MIDI, just different chord sounds. I have some orchestral sounds thrown in there, some of the downbeat. cashmere string, cashmere bass pattern. I have my mid bass layers. That's giving it a lot of fullness that the chords aren't really providing. And of course, I have the top sub and bottom sub. Again, the next big thing on the drop of these big drums, of course, a lot of cool, I like to use a lot of perk loops. These are all cashmere loops, but I'll chop them up a little bit, make them a little different. I won't usually just drop in a loop, but I do like throwing the perk loops in there. It really adds a lot of groove. I love using like breath sounds and chants as kind of like a downbeat crash effect. So this is one of my favorite samples I use a lot. It's from a Hyperbits free pack online, but I'll use that a lot. I'll reverse it sometimes to kind of swoop in. I love that kind of breath sound on downbeats. And then fills are super important. I like to layer just a few fills together. I mean, right here they're not super layered, but I'll grab a couple kind of perk fills, tom fills. I'll cut them up and pepper them kind of through. Pepper them through the whole drop, you know, wherever they fit. And I love doing just multiple layers of fills for multiple sample packs, bringing in all kinds of different sounds. These are kind of like organic, weird, almost like rim shots. And then I'll have some toms in there. So that's a big part of this drop. And that drop is basically carried through for the next two. I'll head to the bridge of the track, which is kind of the next big change. The whole vibe of the track kind of changes for this bridge. So I like to bring in another chord progression, and that main sound is this cool, I think it's this body sound. Yeah, I love that bass. A lot of attack. I just layer it with the sub bass. Kind of just change the track up a little bit, get new rhythm. Another big thing in this bridge is I bring these guitars in a lot more clearly. I have kind of a couple different strum patterns. I have kind of an electric guitar kind of ringing out with some effects on there. OTT, reverb, saturation, compression. And I kind of have a more kind of folksy strumming pattern on an acoustic guitar. I just cut all the low end out of that and mix that in. I think it just gives it a really nice airy sound. So this last build, I'm just making a little more grand and like more full. I'm just stacking these build loops from a few different sample packs. I have some orchestral hits that are just kind of adding a little more fullness to the drop, or fullness to the build. Kind of makes it feel bigger, more special. Yeah, that's basically it for the base of the track. I mean, the second and third drops are very similar in structure to the first one that I showed you guys. The second verse is basically the same structurally as the first one. I'm just adding a few different little small things and elements there and bringing in things earlier. This is a pretty tried and true formula, or tried and true structure for a track. I try to stick to what works and what I know. I don't venture too far off on structure. Man, this one has a cool bridge, which a lot of modern tracks don't have. I like changing the chords up sometimes, and I think it worked out really well here. But yeah, that's basically the whole track. Yeah, I had a lot of fun making this track, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks.